Second game of a back-to-back for the Lakers, who started the night the 4 seed in the West. Midway through the first quarter, LeBron going for the block on Jose Alvarado. He's grabbing that thumb. Why? His thumb got stuck in between the net and the rim. I must say, I've never had that injury. James had to get his hand wrapped on the bench. He would come back. And not only would he come back, he would put New Orleans in the spin cycle. Made 9 of 17 shots. On Thursday, Luka failed to make a 3 for the first time in 114 games. He was 0 of 6. That contested 3 was his first made 3 in his previous 11 attempts. Midway through the third, Austin Reeves, the remarkable player he's turned into, averaging 20 a game. He went for 30 in this one. Luka made 4 threes in all. He had a game-high 35. LeBron, 27 points, 8 assists. The Lakers win again. The misery continues for the Pelicans, who lose once again. Lakers going to be a very tough team to beat in the postseason. 124-108, the final. The trio of Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves all scored 25 and dished out 5 assists. It's the second time this season they've done so, both coming in the last 7 days. That ties the most such games by a Lakers trio in the great history of that franchise.
Something's got to give between these two, both fighting for playoff positioning out west. Nuggets have won their last 9 games against the Warriors. How would it go in this one? Late first quarter, look at that no look. Whew. Sweet. To Russ, who gets the lay-in. What a dime by Jokic. Nuggets up 10. Later in the quarter, Warriors down by 1. Stephen Curry for 3. Warriors go up 2. Next Warriors possession. Look at Steph. Dancing, moving around. Oh, you're not going to stop that. Attacking the paint. Yeah, get fired up. Warriors up 6 at halftime. Early third. Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic for 3. Nuggets down 5. Trying to come back. Jokic here. Another 3. 33 points, 12 boards, 9 assists on the night. Near triple-double. Nuggets down 2. The Warriors swinging it around. Guy Santos the miss. Steph going to come back for 3. Warriors up 15 on the Nuggets. How about more Steph, right? Splits the double team. Gets to go plus the foul. Had 36 on the night with 7 threes. He was just everywhere. Look at this right here. There was a 3 there. And then getting it to go there. Plus the foul. Would make the free throw. Had 36 on the night. Warriors win 118-104. First win since 2022.
That's not a problem I want.
I don't want Golden State or Denver.
Say what?
I don't want, if I'm the Lakers, I don't want any part of Golden State. I don't want any part of Denver.
All right,
I'll take
fine.
my chances with home court against those other teams.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Of course that. But my point is the 3 seed, especially if it's Memphis, because if it's Minnesota, let's stop acting. This is Ant-Man we talk about here. This is a star that rises to the occasion and galvanizes folks around him as well. It's going to be interesting to see what life is like without Karl Anthony Towns come playoff time. And I get that part. What you gonna do, Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo? All right, how helpful are you gonna be? But the Nas Reeds of the world and others, their contribution, their size, their ability to defend anybody but Jokic. Jokic is a totally different matter because he just out of the chest of Rudy Gobert. But outside of that, I mean, it's a situation where Minnesota can be a very, very potent threat. I can't ignore that. But if it's the Memphis Grizzlies, based on the troubles that they've had and the way they've been struggling, I would want that matchup in the first round. And I think that's what you got to think about first if you're thinking about being a 3 seed.
It's all matchup based. If you're Denver, you want nothing to do with Minnesota no matter where the seeding is. Minnesota was built to beat Denver, and they showed that last year, and they've shown that throughout the course of the regular season. If you're Oklahoma City, you're not trying to duck anyone, obviously. But look at what Minnesota did to them this year. Handed them 2 of their 12 losses. It's all going to end up being matchup based. Windy's right. Ideally, you want to end up 3, so you face the other side of the bracket and you save Oklahoma City for the end. But Windy, that idea of the matchup dependent stuff, Denver would want nothing to do with Minnesota, you'd have to imagine.
You're right.
All right. Let's keep it cooking.
And I also point out, Minnesota, out of all these, and then before we move on, out of all these teams we're looking at, all those teams that are all bunched up and changed by the day, Minnesota's got the easiest schedule coming in.
Yes.
All right, so let's transition elsewhere over in the Eastern.
LeBron James, because he's older and because we're looking at a Laker team, we're thinking about Luka Doncic being the future, Brian. Obviously, he hasn't had a great season by any stretch of the imagination, but primarily because he's missed so many games. I think there will be a better version of Luka Doncic in the future, more so than it is this year. But we can't take for granted the years that LeBron James has left on his resume. And so because of that, that's why I think the answer, I mean, it is a hard question because I think we need them both. But if you want to sit up there and say whose deep playoff run would be better for the NBA, if LeBron made a deep playoff run at this stage in his career, considering the fact it's also in Tinseltown as well, I think those elements come into play, and that's why he would be the answer to this question.
Windy.
Joe, as Stephen A. would say, let me be very, very clear. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are winning the West. I believe they are the best team. But before we discuss that, I want to get that very clear. All right. Who would it be more amazing for to get their 5th championship? Steph or LeBron? Considering what that would mean and what that would mean for fans and what it would mean for the league, I think it's probably LeBron when it comes to what's best for the league. Having said that, as I have continued to watch, I think Steph's got the better chance. And I know it's easy to say that the morning after we see them go into LA and win. Stephen A., we cannot ignore that this Warriors team is 19-2 now with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry playing together.
After the guarantee from Draymond. After the guarantee from Draymond.
I got to tell you, I mean, like, look, the problem with Draymond is he says a lot of stuff, and some of it is just ridiculous. But I have to respect that he told Malika Andrews in an interview that ran yesterday on NBA Today, he said he reminded him of this moment in 2022 when all of a sudden he just looked around and said, this team can win. This team can win the whole thing, and he canceled his June plans. He'd already made plans in June of 22, and he canceled them. This team, as Steph said, was in 11th place. And here's something else I just want to point out. We forget it because we're seeing the Warriors every night. The Warriors were trying to trade for Kevin Durant. They had all their eggs in the Kevin Durant basket. They were trying all kinds of elaborate moves. They were going to spring it on him, and then when that happened, Durant was like, hold up. Then they pivoted to Jimmy Butler. And the truth is, they just had a better package to offer than the Suns because the Suns were trying to get Butler for 2 months. But it wasn't like they didn't want Jimmy Butler, but Butler was plan B. So while we can praise Golden State for how this has worked out, just keep in mind, not even they could have foreseen exactly how this fell. But they're 19-2 with those guys playing together. With this starting lineup, and if you look at what Steve Kerr has had to do this year, if you go back and look at October and how he was playing and the way they were playing in January, the journey that he has been on as a coach to find this starting lineup has been as challenging as anything he's ever seen in his coaching career. But the lineup that they have now in April, which is their big three, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, and Steph Curry, with those 2 young wings, Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody, Stephen A., they're 13-0. They're 13-0, and they went into the Lakers last night where they took a haymaker from LeBron, who had his best offensive game since that injury. They took a haymaker from Austin Reeves, who had a 20-point fourth quarter. They took a haymaker from Rui Hachimura, who is such a difference maker when he gets things going for the Lakers, and they survived it because this team has got something cooking. So I can look at you and say, I think the world over, where all the Laker fans are, to have Luka fall into their lap and to set this up, this would be better for the league. Well, but I can't tell you that I think that's the way it's going to go.
Neither am I. I agree with you. I echo those sentiments, no doubt about that. But let's call it like it is. There's a few weeks ago, we were talking this way about the Los Angeles Lakers. Do you know why, Wendy? It was because they were one of, if not the elite defense in the game over an 8-week stretch. We looked at the Los Angeles Lakers. We said, oh, damn, we didn't do, Luka's going to be who he can be offensively. LeBron is defined Father Time doing what he's doing.